to this explainer. Okay, think about this for a second. Literally every single day, thousands of cyber attacks are being launched across the world. We're constantly bombarded with news headlines about massive data breaches, right? Banking systems targeted, hospitals attacked, critical manufacturing data just gone in an instant. It is a relentless global threat. So today, we're going to explore the ultimate roadmap to one of the most absolutely critical fields protecting our modern infrastructure.
Because here's the reality. Today, a single cyber incident doesn't just cause a minor temporary outage. No way. It can completely destroy customer trust, trigger massive legal penalties, and cost organizations millions, and I mean literally millions of dollars. But behind every secure organization that successfully navigates this highly dangerous landscape, there's a specialized team holding the line. Listen, cybersecurity is no longer just a nice-to-have. It is an absolute business survival requirement.
So here is your roadmap through the modern cyber landscape. We're going to cover 1. The cyber survival requirement, 2. Decoding GRC, 3. The GRC career ladder, 4. The AI factor, and finally, 5. Getting hired. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. The cyber survival requirement, beyond the IT department. You see, cybersecurity is way past the days of just fixing a random computer virus. With massive shifts to cloud computing, global remote work, and attackers using terrifyingly advanced AI like deepfakes, security has shifted from being a simple IT headache directly to the boardroom.
Which brings us to Section 2, Decoding GRC, the pillars of security.
Now, with threats escalating across literally every sector, we're talking healthcare, defense, retail, you name it, every single company handling digital data needs a rock-solid structured defense. Enter GRC. That stands for Governance, Risk, and Compliance. Let's break this down systematically, kinda like a three-legged stool. First up, governance. This is all about creating the right security strategy, establishing the policies, the standards, and the specific roles to ensure that cybersecurity actually supports the business's goals, rather than getting in its way. Then we have risk management. This is where you look at the business and ask the hard questions. What can harm us? What if ransomware encrypts our systems? Or what if our customer data leaks? GRC professionals map these exact vulnerabilities out on heat maps and work proactively to reduce the danger. And finally, compliance. This ensures the organization is strictly following security regulations like ISO 27001, GDPR, or HIPAA. Because failing an audit here, that can lead to massive legal and financial fallout.
Moving on to Section 3, the GRC Career Ladder, from Analyst to CISO.
I've got to tell you, one of the absolute biggest advantages of entering the GRC domain is the incredibly clear, structured career growth it offers across massive, high-demand industries. As a beginner, you might start out as a GRC analyst or a security auditor associate. Your main focus here is on the fundamentals, risk concepts, documentation. Getting a foundational certification like CompTIA Security Plus creates a fantastic launching pad. Then, after about 2 to 5 years of practical hands-on experience handling audit walkthroughs and vendor reviews, you hit the mid-level. This is where a cert like CSIM becomes extremely valuable, pivoting you straight into security program management. Fast forward to 8 to 10 years of experience and you are looking at top-tier senior leadership. We're talking roles like risk manager, virtual CISO, or chief information security officer. Here, the globally recognized CSSP certification becomes your absolute gold standard, positioning you for serious, strategic enterprise leadership.
And what's super fascinating here is how GRC actually acts as a bridge. A lot of professionals who are currently working as SOC analysts, threat hunters, cloud engineers, or even ethical hackers eventually transition into GRC roles. But why? Well, because organizations highly value professionals who can sit right in what we call the sweet spot. If you understand the deep technical realities of cybersecurity and you can translate that into actual business risk for the executive board, you become an incredibly powerful, almost irreplaceable asset.
All right, let's tackle the elephant in the room. Section 4, the AI factor, job killer or job creator.
So will AI just come in and replace all these jobs? Highly, highly unlikely. Look, AI is fantastic at automating repetitive documentation or, generating a basic report. But look at what GRC actually requires. AI cannot sit in a boardroom and independently decide whether a complex business risk should be accepted or rejected. It just can't. It cannot negotiate how compliance exceptions should be handled or engage with strict legal regulators. GRC depends heavily, and I mean heavily, on human judgment, executive communication, and nuanced leadership decisions.
So, the crucial takeaway here is this. AI is actually increasing the demand for GRC professionals. Because companies are rapidly integrating AI left and right, they now face entirely new sets of risks. Think about it. Who's checking the third-party AI vendors? Who is governing the data privacy when these massive AI models are being trained? This creates totally new, explosive fields like AI governance and AI risk management. AI isn't reducing GRC opportunities, it is expanding them dramatically.
Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, Getting Hired, the Missing Link. Okay, here is the harsh truth of the industry right now. Many candidates spend months getting the certifications, they finally secure the interview, and they still fail. Why does that happen? Because organizations aren't looking for textbook memorization or just theoretical knowledge. Employers are looking for professionals who understand how governance operates in real, messy, day-to-day organizations.
They want candidates who are genuinely job ready. They want to know, can you actually master real-life audit workflows? Do you know how to sit down and perform a proper gap assessment? Can you review a vendor's security posture? This is exactly where cybersecuritytrain.com comes in. Their focus isn't just to hand you a piece of paper or a certificate. Their goal is to act as your ultimate mentor, providing practical, industry-ready training that actually bridges the gap between textbook theory and the real corporate world.
And they don't just teach you the workflows and leave you hanging. Cybersecuritytrain.com provides ongoing, highly targeted mentorship. They help you answer those incredibly tough practical interview questions like, how did you prioritize these risks? Or how exactly did you handle the audit evidence? Furthermore, they support you with resume building, LinkedIn profile optimization, rigorous mock interviews, and dedicated placement preparation. Because again, having a bunch of certifications alone is simply not enough anymore. You have to be able to confidently demonstrate genuine business awareness to an employer.
Cybersecurity is no longer optional, and GRC offers incredible long-term stability, massive global demand, and an incredibly low automation risk. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to ponder. In a world driven by AI, who is governing the risk? It could be you. If you are ready to build those vital skills, get certified, and most importantly, get hired, start your practical, job-focused journey at cybersecuritytrain.com or reach out to them directly on WhatsApp at 988-57-89887. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.